What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. Oh, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive.
Hi everyone. Happy Monday. How is everyone today? Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to the chat. 260 in here already. Oh, 280. Thumbs up, everyone. Hope everyone is well today. Let's see if we've got any. Well, we must have some newbies in the chat because we've got 10,000 subscribers now. Thank you everyone so much for getting this channel to that 10k mark. I'm still a little up in the clouds about it, to be honest. Like, I can't believe we've gotten here. Let's see if we can spot any new names, or maybe people who I haven't seen for a while. Nokutula? I feel like I haven't seen your name before. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to all the usuals. Denise, Karen, Elaine, hi. Carol, hi. Hope you're doing well today. Hi, Rosa. Sistren, hi. Hi, Jane, come and Martha. See who else is in here. Hi, Lottie. Ursula, hi. Elizabeth, hi, Levy. Let's see. Hi, Cinderella. Miss P, hey. Sonia. Lottie G, hello everyone. How's everyone doing? I would like to become a member. Do I pay $4.99 per month, or is it a one-time thing? So if you want to become a member, it is a monthly fee, which gets taken out automatically every single month, but obviously you can stop at any time. Or if you'd like to just give a one-off, you can in the chat section you should see like a dollar sign. So you can donate there, or you can donate through Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal, links in the description box. Or if you actually want something for yourself, there's also merchandise, or you can buy one of my books. So there's I've tried to give you as many options as possible to support the channel. So whichever one you want to do, but best to just look in the description box or to hit that little dollar sign by the chat box. It's really up to you. I'm just grateful for you being here, but thank you for asking. Hi, Sylvia. Beverly Hardy, hello. I love that you all say hello to each other. Oh, Tony Racer. I feel like that's a new name. Janice Modeste. I feel like that's a new name as well. Hello from Houston. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us. Sharon Augustine, hello. Trina Hodges, is that a new name? Are you a newbie? All right. Think that's most of the usuals here. No problem, not TG at all. And no problem, Sylvia. I appreciate you all. And so welcome everyone. Don't forget to thumbs up. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, do hit that subscribe button. And let's get on to today's podcast. I'm going to race through everything very swiftly today because I have to admit, I am pretty exhausted. I'm moving. So I've literally just been packing boxes. And so, as you can imagine, I'm quite tired. So we'll make it a quick one today. Starting off with some interesting news coming out of the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Now, she was sentenced. She tried to appeal, but the appeal did not go through. So she will be going to prison. She'll probably get out a little bit earlier for good behavior. But she has now been transferred to a low security prison in Florida. Now, I don't know why they've made this particular decision because of her ties with Epstein. I would have imagined they'd put her in a high security prison because she's probably going to be a target. I don't know anybody from the US if you understand the prison system or why these decisions are made. Feel free to chime in the comment section, but I would just imagine that she would be in a very high security prison because of her connections to Epstein and because she's so high profile. But it would appear that so far she's not talking, she's not naming names, and it would also appear, unfortunately, the men and other individuals, possibly also women, who are involved in the abuse of those young girls, nobody else, it would appear, is going to face justice, at least for now, which is a shame. Welcome if you're just entering the chat. Valerie, where are you moving to? Oh, I'm not leaving the UK, not yet. I'm literally only moving to a town about 10 minutes away from where I live at the moment. So I'm not leaving the UK yet. I would have wanted to leave this year, but there's just too many things that I have to get in order to be able to make that big move. But that move out of the UK is going to happen before the end of the decade for sure. I've just realized that there's just so many things that I have to have in place before I make that move comfortably. Patricia, there's no good behavior in federal prison. You do your whole time. She got 20, she'll do 20. Okay. Joy, she thinks she's saving the names for her book. Maybe. Donna, the judge ordered her to be in a low security jail during her sentencing. Okay. C-Mac, low security because she's considered read a non-violent offender. Okay. Because she's not a high-risk prisoner. I mean, she herself, I don't think is high risk. But would she? Do you think that she'll get put in a special part of the prison because she could possibly be quite a target? Mm. She's being transferred to a low security white collar federal facility. Okay. Low security is like a clubhouse. Okay. Interesting to know. Thank you for those details. I'm not a huge fan of reality TV, and I'm definitely not a big fan of Love Island. I do not like that show. I think it's quite toxic. But there was an interesting conversation on Love Island that was caught, and they were talking about the royals. And some of the girls were a little bit more clued up, but some of them weren't. And what they weren't too sure who the Queen's children were, and some of them just seemed all very confused about the royal family and what was the point of them. And I just find it so funny that so many people wanted to side eye Meghan when she said that she didn't really know a lot about the royals, that she didn't research a lot about the royals. And I think people in the United Kingdom sometimes underestimate how much people in other countries know or pay attention to the royals. And this was just an example of where even Brits sometimes don't know a lot about the royals. Even today, I asked my dad, "Can you name all of the Queen's children?" And he couldn't name Edward. Edwina, um, unfortunately, is not. He's not as well known to a lot of people. So I'm not going to stand for Meghan getting side-eyed for not knowing a lot about the royals, because even British people sometimes don't know a lot about the royals. Mm. Okay, so there's that. Also, in What the Hell news, the Queen's underwear is reportedly being sold online. I have no idea who wants to buy the Queen's underwear, but here it is for a cool 4,000. Um, I wonder how they actually authenticate these type of items, because presumably, if this was a real item, wouldn't it just be in the royal collection? But yeah, these are the type of things that people do do buy. Having said that, as strange as I think that it is, when the Queen passes, these could easily double in value. So I'm sure a professional collector that dabbles in these things probably knows their value and their worth. Just not something that I'd be buying. Mm. I didn't even know the Queen had 4 children until I watched The Crown. Exactly. I mean, I personally only knew about Edward like a couple years ago. All I knew was Anne, Charles, and Andrew. Yeah, Marilyn, a lot of people never really followed the on royals until Meghan came into the family, especially people outside of the UK. All right, so that is that. Yeah, legs. Why would somebody want them? I can imagine the only reason would just be because they'll probably double in value when she dies. Now, I didn't touch upon the Charles scandal, but I'm sure most of you have heard there will not be further investigation into his recent dodgy dealings. And there was an individual called Hamad who gave Charles 3 million. He did it in a private meeting in which no one was present. That meeting was not mentioned in the court circular, the official list of royal engagements. The payments were made in cash, and cash was passed on to Charles' charity. So this was the infamous bringing the cash back in the suitcases incident, which helps fund one of Charles's estates. Charles has direct access to government minister and all cabinet papers, as well as complete secrecy over what he says to who and on what issues he lobbies government. So the obvious question is, what was Hammond expecting in return for this favor, and did he get it? That is a very, very good question. And we know that the royals are used sometimes to broker certain deals, and one of the more controversial of those deals is weapons. So the Republic statement goes on to say, so the obvious, oh, sorry, it says, this raises ethical issues and questions about Prince Charles's judgment following from other accusations of cash for access. And for sure, us, the British public, should have the right to know what is going on behind closed doors. And again, this just plays against the argument that royalists make all the time that, oh, the reason we need the monarchy is to stop, corruption. And yet is the monarchy itself, the future king himself, who is at the heart of that corruption. Joyce, Edward hasn't done anything. That's why no one knows him. uh Connie, hello, Connie Barmer. How did they manage to have the Queen's underwear? That is a good question. Like, how do they even get that? Yeah, R. Carter, it's a new low. I hope they were laundered for real. All right, so on to the next thing. So the debate rages on about Harry's security, and finally, someone, it would appear, has come out to say something in regards to his security. What we've all been saying really is that Harry's security is important, and he is a target for extremists. And the head of the National Counter-Tourism Security Office told GB News, who need to hear it more than anyone, that he is still considered by the world a top-tier royal, whether we like it or not. But also, he fought in Afghanistan. This is a point that we make all the time. So there will be a lot of extreme terrorists that would like to do him some harm. And of course, his mother tragically died after losing her police protection. So I think all these three things come together, and you can start looking at it and thinking, well, there is a threat and he does need some help. And I don't understand why nobody in the palace realizes how awful it makes them look that they are putting their family members, especially a high profile family member, Diana's son, at risk like this. And, whether or not Harry wins or loses his bid, I'm glad that he's done this just so it goes down in the history books, because it does make you question Diana's security situation. And they keep saying, well, she said that she didn't want security. Well, now we've got to question that. And even if she did say, "Oh, I don't want security from the palace," we also have to question: did she feel like the security would have her best interests at heart? Did she feel that perhaps they would be reporting back to the palace? So I'm just glad that Harry's doing this so that they don't try to um, rewrite history as they're doing with a lot of things at the moment. Marilyn, after Diana died, I only paid attention to Harry. It all started with his interest in work in Africa. Facts, yes. And you can tell that his work there really did help him to become I think, an empathetic, forward-thinking, a well-rounded individual. Vinny Blair, that straight up money laundering. One would expect Charles to know better, even if his team didn't. That's a part of your education as a second to line to the throne. Well, I just don't understand why they did it in cash. I mean, I know the palace is a little bit old-fashioned, but we do have crypto. Uh, anyway, either way, it's just not something that should have been done. And if it was for charity, then why did it need to be done so secretly? Um, Joan Commonwealth, I think the Nick or whoever they belong to, I hope they were washed. Maverick, they would have spied on Diana. I think so too. I think that Diana was stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Because if she took the security, they'd be spying on her. If she didn't take the security, well, now all these years later, they're saying, oh, she didn't take the security, and that's why the accident happened. Edward attempted a reality show members of the royal family as cast, and his production company went bust. Oh dear. Yeah, I can't imagine too many people would want to watch that. All right, on to the next thing. Right. The Derangers are now furious about that book by that clown. One of them saying, "Not a fan of the Sussexes, but truth is truth. As a legal professional, it's important. I finished reading Revenge by Tom Bower, and after stumbling across this thread, I realized there's a dozen or so inaccuracies. The book is unprofessional and emotionally written." And I think people are starting to realize now um, that even though Tom Bowers had originally wanted this to be some big takedown, it's also making the royals look bad as well. Now we've got Duchess of Tights and Duchess Middlebum trending, and it's becoming as embarrassing for sorry, it's become embarrassing for the royal family, even if they didn't intend it to. You've now got accusations being levied at Camilla, talking about Archie's afro hair. So this is not going the way they want it to. You've got sites like Page Six trying to jump on the bandwagon, anti-Meghan bandwagon, as usual, saying in the Tom Bower revenge book, Meghan Markle is revealed for who she is, a Kardashian. And let me just say this, I'm not a Kardashian fan, but the Kardashians make their own money. The Kardashians are relevant. The Kardashians are pop culture. People care about what the Kardashians are doing. You know what they don't care about? The other members of the royal family. So they're saying that as an insult, trying to compare Meghan to the Kardashians as an insult. But whatever you think of the Kardashians, they're still more relevant than the unroyal mafia. People care more about Kim Kardashian's BBL than they care about Camilla. So they can try and say that as an insult to Meghan, but at the end of the day, you know, in terms of popularity, the Kardashians are still more popular. Ginger Lily and Robert Jobson was on ABC and said the government should come to an agreement with Harry. I was surprised how fair he was. I guess he did not want the Victoria Arbiter treatment. Well, it's interesting. I've noticed with some of these royal rodents, they speak one way to the American press, and then they have a much nastier tone when they're speaking to um, or speaking on, sorry, British television shows or speaking to the British media, because I think they've realized that the American audience really isn't having this anti-Meghan, anti-Harry rhetoric. So yes, I'm sure he's probably being a lot more careful now, and as I'm sure some of them will be since the whole Victoria Arbiter incident. But I wonder if he had that tone because he was speaking to an American platform. Zuri, that family threw Diana to the wolves. They knew she would be vulnerable. Didn't Princess Margaret say that her death was an unfortunate solution to a problem? Wow, I've never heard that about Princess Margaret saying that, but it's something I'll look into. And but yeah, you're right. They knew Diana was vulnerable. She was the most followed, most photographed, most chased woman in the world at the time, and they just left her to the wolves. I mean, her own brother would not allow her to stay at the family home. And it's interesting, this whole thing with Diana is coming up the same week that Harry gave his speech at the UN, and I don't believe for a second it's by accident. I think that they wanted to find a way to distract from Harry's accomplishment, and I think they knew because of Diana and Mandela meeting and Harry's relationship with the Mandela family, that Diana's memory would come up again. So it's just quite interesting that all of this has come up around the same time as Harry's speech at the UN. And it's also interesting that it's mainly William who is pushing for the censorship of Diana's interview, which is really, really sad. I guess in a way, both Harry and William were going to be forced to pick a side eventually, and it's obvious to see which side each of them has picked. It seems like William is more than happy to throw his mother under the bus. Mary Hate, I still don't trust them with the Sussex of security. Neither do I, to be honest. But if Harry manages to win this and they grant him that security, even if he never uses it, they can never say, "Oh, Harry didn't want security." They can never say that, and that's because that's what they keep saying with Diana. Yes, Marilyn, with all the vitriol, I wonder if Harry can trust UK security at this point. It's something that I've wondered all the time. Personally, I don't think he can, but I still think it's important that he fights for it. See, Mac, Duchess of Tights cracks me up. Cracks me up too. Okay, on to the next thing. Yeah, I found these Instagram posts floating around the Twitterverse, and yeah, there's so much in that Tom Bowers book that is so easily debunked. One of those things that Meghan didn't know anybody who was famous, that she wasn't part of the Hollywood crowd. Well, here you've got, posts, or sorry, and that she didn't have famous friends. I mean, here you've got posts dating all the way back to 2005, one with a little dog with a caption, "Hey, Serena Williams, thanks for another fun day, my friend. And for Chip, I'm stealing him. Bogart and Guy put in a special request." So that was back from 2000 and sorry, 15. You've got another post from her Instagram account saying, "Hey, KT, you're gonna eat this? Hashtag L." And it's a dessert plate with the name Katie Holmes. So I think she had probably gone to an event being run by L and she had met Katie Holmes. Another blog post in the hat with the caption, "Thanks for a fun night at Raptors. Still sending you love, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union." And I believe there are actually pictures of her with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union at the playoffs. So they can tell all the lies that they want to. We have the receipts. Amy, I'll take the Kardashians over the Royals. I have to say, if I had to choose between them, the lesser of two evils, it would be the Kardashians. Mm. Yes, page 6 and the New York Post, they're both Murdoch papers, so it doesn't surprise me that they would post that. Yes, Joan Garcia, they must know that if you dig a hole for someone else, you might as well dig one for yourself. I don't know if they do know that, to be honest. I know that we know that, but I think that the Royals, especially Kensington Palace, are just now so desperate. They're just throwing everything at the wall and hoping that it sticks. Okay. Um but yeah, Charles Spencer came out and said this regarding the Panorama interview. "My sister was a victim of an appalling deception that left her alone." I mean, he could easily be talking about the way the royal family coaxed Diana when he says that. I mean, he's talking about the BBC Panorama interview, but he could well be talking about the royal family as well, because that's exactly what they did to Diana. They coaxed her into marrying Charles, knowing that he had a mistress, knowing that Diana was not his first choice. So I find it interesting how he's now got all of the energy for the BBC and for that interview, for his sister's interview, where she spoke nothing but the truth, regardless of how that interview was obtained. I stand by what I said yesterday that whether Martin Bashir got that interview legitimately or illegitimately, I believe that Diana would have said the exact same thing. So he should have as much energy and smoke for the Unroyal Mafia as he has from Martin Bashir. because the institution um, gaslit Diana pretty much, sorry, before her marriage and throughout her entire marriage. Mm. The rodents are confused cockroaches. They have entangled themselves now. No way out. The truth is coming. I mean, if they were smart, they would slowly start coming away from the royal fold and actually try and be legitimate journalists. Just give it a try. Try being truthful for once. And I do think um, I can see one or two of them doing it. I think Chris Ship being one. I think he's trying to go slowly towards more of the legitimate news anchor kind of direction because sooner or later, the whole royal experts, royal writer ecosystem, especially the side of it that relies so heavily on hate, sooner or later it's going to die. And the end is coming very soon. I think when Betty passes, you're going to see, well, that's going to be a field day for them. And then when all of the dirt about the royal family starts coming out after she passes, that will also be a money making field day for them. But then after that, I think that'll pretty much be the end of it. I think any interest in the royals will pretty much just disappear, and it won't be as lucrative as it once was. Legs, this projection again. They want to minimize her accomplishments. Doolittle and Goldilocks haven't achieved anything. Well, they would achieve a lot more if they just focus on themselves, no? We have to do a lot for the Diana anniversary this year. Just like really annoy them. I'm gonna try and make as many videos as we can. We should have spaces, post on social media because they've really tried it burying this interview. So we have to clap back. Vinny, Harry would definitely use the intelligence of the Met and MI5, would be about potential threats to his safety. He's never going to be without his personal security, even with the Met police. Oh, and indeed, he'll always have his personal security, but whether or not he can trust the Met and the MI5 is a whole other thing. Heavily, they threw Diana to the wolves. She was also followed and switched on. She said in the interview, the only time she had security was whenever the boys were there. Yeah, and also, I think it's also important to remember that did I have it on the slide? I think I actually forgot to put it, but Diana did write a letter sometime after the interview where she said that she didn't regret doing it. So how are they going to explain that? She said it in her own handwriting. I don't regret doing the interview. Southern Flower, Gabrielle Union said that Dwayne Wade was a big Suits fan. He apparently was very excited about meeting Meghan. I would be too. Hi, Daniel Medical. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thumbs up and subscribe, everyone. Joyce, Charles Spencer is a strange one. Where has he been all these years for the past 25 years? Who's spying him? Yeah. I mean, if he was that concerned about it, where has he been? It seems to me like the only reason anybody cares about this interview suddenly, I think, is because now people are starting to make comparisons to what happened to Diana and what's happening to Harry and Meghan. I think also they're partly doing all of this because they saw um, the backlash towards Camilla and Charles during the last season of The Crown, and I think they're trying to get ahead now because they know that the next season is coming and the interview will likely be included in that season. So yeah, if he was pissed off about all of this all this time, he would have come out and said something. I feel like he's just decided to come over to the dark side and be involved in this effort to silence his sister. Trevor, William must have promised him something for sure. Jessica, they have all the energy for Martin Bashir, but not Andrew Morton. I wonder why. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure eventually they will find some way of coming after Andrew Morton, though. It's only a matter of time. Ethany, Charles Spencer may be feeling guilt since he wouldn't let his sister come home when Diana asked. Well, I'm not sure how being involved like this is going to cure that guilt. Yeah, Janet, he can talk now, but where was he when his sister needed help? So these Aristo families just live in a completely different world. They don't even function like families, they function like businesses. Right, let's see. Oh, thank you, Lex, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Marilyn, I remember reading that William was extremely angry with his mother for giving that interview. So it feels like he's still angry and still blames her. Well, why exactly does he blame her and not, his father and the institution? And, given the suspicions around William and his attitudes towards people of color, though, it wouldn't surprise me if he felt some kind of way because his mother was with a Middle Eastern man. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Well, thank you so much, Joan Garcia. I appreciate your slanting events from your country. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much appreciated. Brenda Phillips, you are never late. You're never ever late. You can always watch on replay. Okay, on to much, I guess, heartwarming but still tragic news. Yes, Harry and Meghan, always kind as they are, donated $5,000 to a GoFundMe in Archie and Lily's name after the sudden death of former model Kelly McKee Zajeffen's 9-year-old son. And this lady is also one of the people involved. Oh, and also Mandana, who works for Archwell, she also gave a donation of $250 dollars. And she is one of the, I think she's like the co-founder of um the Coalition for Working Mums. So that's why Meghan gave the donation to her. And if we all remember, Meghan joined the Marshall Plan for Mums when they announced the National Business Coalition for Childcare in efforts to expand childcare support for workers. And she also wrote that letter to Nancy Pelosi, where she spoke about the fact that she's not an elected official. Sorry, she's not an elected official, but she is a mum. And so sorry to that mother for losing her son. But it's wonderful as always to see the kindness being shown by the Sussexes and how lovely to make that donation on behalf of Archie and Lily. So other than that, I didn't have anything else to say today. Like I said, it was going to be a quick one. Thank you as always, everyone, for coming. Your presence is, as always, much appreciated. Oh, and do we have another? Oh, thank you so much, NRB. NRB, you're already a member. Oh, thank you so much. Um, all right, let's wrap this all up. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I'm going to get straight to bed because I'm still going to be packing tomorrow. Lottie G, maybe it's his conscience kicking his butt, probably. Ethany Green, where's Willie's anger at his father? Charlie had a televised interview admitting his infidelity as well. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Imagine, choosing an archaic institution like this over your own mother. Just so sad. And it's unfortunate because William's going to live with the anger for the rest of his life unless he chooses to heal. But that would mean that he has to choose the path of light, own his mistakes, because the British media will air them eventually, and just say, you know what, I'm not a perfect human being. In fact, I'm a pretty shitty human being. I admit my mistakes, say his sorries, and be free. Your truth will set you free. The same way it set his mother free, it will set him free as well. Otherwise, like this, you know, joining the dark side and working for the institution, he will forever be angry and miserable. But Harry said it himself, they're trapped. Joan Commonwealth, Harry did mention that it was one of the reasons why she was hounded because of who she was dating. Yes, he said that in the Me You Can't See. Um, Lit Lane, hello. William is crazy and angry. Diana was hurt badly as a young girl. Holmes calls us keyboard warriors. I still want him held accountable for the balcony debacle. The balcony debacle? The balcony debacle? Explain that, please. Sorry. Yes, sister, and thank you to everyone, and don't forget to thumbs up. Yes, thank you to Harry and Meghan for such a sweet donation, and I'm sure that's probably encouraged many other people to donate also. Thank you so much, Zuri. Much appreciated. Um, Raquel, there is someone on YouTube named Narain stating that Harry and Meghan's home was broken into. I didn't click the link, but have you heard anything about that? I've heard a couple people mention it, but I didn't look too deep into it, so I can't actually confirm whether or not that is true. But I have heard people talking about it, but I'm pretty sure in the neighborhood that they live in with so many high profile people that they've got great security, and on a lot of these big properties they've probably got heat sensors, light sensors, and all sorts to keep them safe, so let's not worry too much. Oh, Andrea, first live chat for me, lovely to have you here. Mm. Oh, thank you so much. Also, is it Ray Raquel? Thank you so much for the super sticker. Trina Williams' royal expectations are dated and literally cannot say that word. Are dated and old. He's living in the past. Yes, unfortunately, and this is why him and his wife remain stagnant. And there's nothing that Lee Thompson guy can do to help them move forward. Oh, yes, Holmes saying that Harry and Meghan should be thrown in the balcony. Yes, I remember that. And then he ended up with a backache. Karma. Legs, did anyone see that panelist asking why they needed the royals? Is this the one with where Stacey Solomon is saying, "I just don't get it. I don't get what the royals are for." That goes viral, or re-viral at least once a month. uh, Anne, are you high? No, I'm not high. I'm exhausted. That's why I can barely talk or say words. Uh, Thank you so much, Doris. Yeah, I'll just like invite you all over so that you can help me pack. All right, who's going to get the last word of the day? Who is going to get the last word of the day? Compton. Shade, shade, shade. Harry needs a few Rottweilers and not the one Princess Di called Camilla. Ouch. Yes, I'm sure they've got Rottweilers on the property. Actually, no, do they need Rottweilers? They've got Guy, right? Guy and Pula. Rochelle, it wasn't that the home was broken into, it was just alarms over a few months that led to the police. Okay. No, I don't think we need to worry too much. Oh, hi, Edith. Sorry, we're just finishing up, but thank you for joining, because you can watch on replay. NRB Duchess, while I understand I'm a channel member, I like contributing to you guys. To whom much is given, much is expected. I seriously have no problem doing this, you and Baron. Oh, you are just too kind, you all. We are not worthy. But we appreciate it as always. All right. And Andera Miller, I'm going to give you the last word of the day. Bible said all evil will be exposed. What's done in darkness will come to light. Amen to that. Thank you so much, as always, everyone, for a lovely chat. And I guess I will see you tomorrow. Stay blessed, stay hydrated, stay moisturized. Love you all. Bye.
I know I messed it up, forget my